The lesson shown in Three's a Crowd was very straightforward. Unlike other episodes this season, it was straightforward to the point that it didn't even leave much to expand upon, nor was there much below the surface of what was actually said. But that doesn't mean that this episode didn't have at least 2 layers of lessons going on in it either, so here's what I saw. It's true that a sign of real friendship is when we are willing to do everything in our power to help each other when we're in need. It's true that these things will almost always happen at the most inopportune of times, thus making the decision of whether or not to drop whatever we're doing and help those in need exponentially more difficult than it was originally. It's true that these circumstances will test our love for others as well as their love for us. However, these tests are best saved for when there is a real problem at hand. Do not falsify problems to see if your friends would be willing to help you. The first and foremost reason for this being that it is incredibly dishonest and abusive to the trust that people put in you. Secondly, life problems, by their very nature, tend to get out of control, especially when dishonesty is involved. I'll likely get deeper into it at another time, but lies are much more difficult to maintain than truth. I'm sure most of us have either seen or lived through the storytelling trope where a simple lie blows up in the liar's face when managing the finer details and self-contradictions gets harder and harder. Now, add this to an already volatile situation, and you've got a recipe for disaster. That brings me to the consequences of being manipulative like this. Harkening back to Rarity Takes Manhattan, remember when I said that abusing your friends will cause you to lose them? Discord getting sick at the end of this episode is the perfect demonstration of what I was saying. He maliciously manipulated those around him for his own selfish reasons. Then, when he really needed the help, he ended up experiencing the boy who cried wolf effect, and Twilight was no longer willing to help him. So keep that in mind, lest you put yourself in the same situation. Even in the context of Discord trying to give Twilight a lesson, the lesson falls flat because the messenger is a hypocrite. A teacher is only worth his word if he is capable of demonstrating what it is he is trying to teach. In this case, in order to teach friendship, Discord would need to understand it himself. If Discord truly understood this, he would have understood that his past actions would have caused most people to be apprehensive about reaching out to him unprovoked, if they even entertained the idea in the first place. He would have also known that raising a false flag would be an abuse of trust, something that a true friend wouldn't intentionally do. He'd have been understanding of these things and wait for a legitimate opportunity to test them. Compare this to the episodes of Princess Twilight Sparkle, where Discord didn't fake any circumstances when teaching Twilight the lesson. He merely used the circumstances to point her in the general direction, help her realize things that she already knew, and left to her the choice of whether or not to take action. While I usually end these monologues by saying perhaps we could do the same, in this case that might not be a good idea. It depends on how you relate to the episode, really. If you're Twilight or Cadence, by all means, please stay strong and be ready to ride out for your loved ones at the drop of a hat. However, if you're like Discord, I implore you to not do the same and ask that you re-examine the way that you think. Hopefully, you'll make the right decisions before you make the same mistakes and suffer the same consequences. And that is the moral of the story. If you have a topic you would like to hear discussed, or if you have an episode, fanfiction, product, or anything else you would like to hear reviewed, send me a YouTube message or leave a comment below. You can also drop comments, questions, topic suggestions, and review suggestions by liking Brony Debates on Facebook, following on Twitter, or sending an email to bronydebates@yahoo.com. Have a great day, and I look forward to hearing from all of you soon.